Hey everybody, hello. So welcome. It's actually bang on 5. I was trying to get here a bit early, but we have been having mayhem over here at Moonology Towers. I did actually hope to do an outdoor ceremony today because I wanted to burn some forgiveness lists like I like to do. But unfortunately, it's raining in London. So I'm just going to save myself because I have to say the last 20 minutes have been pretty intense. Is everybody ready to get their full moon on? If you want the exact times of the full moon, they're on my website, moonology.com. And then you go to extras and then you go to moon times and you should find them there. Hopefully you'll find them there. So we have half an hour of moon magic today, and I'm actually going live on Facebook and Instagram for once. I don't often do Instagram. And as always, I can't see the Facebook comments, but I will answer them after. And actually, I can see the ones on Instagram, which is great. So if you have any questions, just let me know. So I've just got a bit of sage here. I'm sure you all know sage is very, very clearing. And I'm going to start off with a chant, okay? And I'm actually going to do it to Ganesha, who normally I associate with the quarter moon. But I'm going to do them now because it's been a bit challenging getting here today because of wanting to do it outside, and we got everything ready, and then it started pouring, and then we run in here, and we're in the living room, which I love. But I think it'll be quite good. And I just want to say before I start, for anyone who is in London or near London, just remember I have a workshop coming up in about 3 weeks. We have sold tons of tickets now. Yay! But there are still some for sale. And so if you would like to join us, you can go to, I think I created a short link, which is moonmessages.com/London workshop. moonmessages.com/London workshop. And if for any reason that doesn't work, just go to my website, yasminboland.com or moonology.com. Click the picture of me with my arms above my head against London, and you'll find the link there. It's going to be a really good day. It's going to be like a sort of a 6 or 8 hour, how many hours it is, version of what we're doing today, except instead of just doing the full moon, which we're going to do today, we'll be doing the full moon and the new moon, basically teaching you about manifesting with the moon. So let's just talk briefly. Actually, no, let me do my chant first because the chant gets me in the mood. In fact, I was just writing about that yesterday, that quite often at the start of a workshop, or even just like now, I'm all like, my energy's really like scattered. And then we do a chant and we call in the divine, and the energy changes really, really substantially. So if you are able to, I know some of you are just tuned in by chance and maybe you're at work or whatever, but if you're able to, and if you have headphones, and if you dare put headphones on while I chant, I'm going to do the chant to Ganesha, which is going to help to get us over any dramas that we may or may not be experiencing right now. So, and I'm going to end with a chant to the goddess Narayani, by the way. So, all right, so wherever you are, if you can, close your eyes. And just start to become aware of the rise and fall of your breath. I'm really grateful to be here today with you. Honouring the moon is such a very special thing to do. And to have the chance to do it with you guys from all over the world is amazing. So here we are, ready for the full moon, which in some ways is a hurdle that we jump over once a month. It's the climax of the lunar month and brings some emotional explosions, so be careful. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And we call in Ganesha. And we call in Metatron, the archangel of the full moon in Virgo. And we call in the goddess Ceres. And Kuan Yin, Narani, Lakshmi, Saraswati and Durga. So here we are in another dimension. Can you feel the different energy at least coming from me? Because I sure can. All right, so let's talk about this full moon. It's taking place in the sign of Virgo, and I thought I would refer to my trusty Moonology book, which I'm sure lots of you have. It's a book I wrote about 4 years ago, and as I like to say, it's now been in the Amazon astrology bestseller lists in the USA and the UK. As far as I know, it might be other places as well. I just know about those two places. It's been in those Amazon astrology bestseller lists. Are you ready for more than 200 weeks? That's amazing. Thank you to everybody who's bought it. If you haven't bought it yet, that's it, Moonology. It's a really good book. We love it. Okay, so it has interpretations for every single lunation, and I'm going to just give you some information about the Virgo full moon from Moonology, and then I'm going to talk to you about how the Virgo full moon is actually tying in with what's going on in the world, the craziness with the thing that shall not be named, dare I say CV, you know what I mean, the coronavirus. I don't even want to say the name. So the energy for the full moon in Virgo is finicky and anxious, okay? Now that about sums up where I was 20 minutes ago. I was finicky and anxious. So if you've been finicky and anxious, you know why. And it's very much about finding a balance between being down to earth and allowing yourself to dream. Now, why is that so? Well, I'll tell you. Because the full moon takes place when the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the sky, okay? So right now we have the sun in Pisces, which is why all our Piscean friends are soon having their birthday, including my mother and my BFF International Division, Carolyn. They're both Piscean. So we'll have the sun in the sun in Pisces, and over the other side, when the moon gets around to Pisces, that's when we get the full... Gets around to Virgo. Sorry, Mercury Retrograde also ends this week, so yay. Sun in Pisces, moon in Virgo, we get the full moon in Virgo. Now, every full moon brings about a kind of a tug of war, okay, between the signs that it's in, and also between the houses of your chart that it's in, if you know your chart. So in the case of the full moon in Virgo, we've got the sun in Pisces and the moon in Virgo. Now, Pisces, as you might know, is the dreamy sign, okay? It's the sign that loves to dream. It's the poet, it's the visionary and all that. Virgo, on the other hand, is very much, you could say, the bean counter of the horoscope, of the zodiac. Now, as I always say, everybody has all 12 signs in their chart, so don't be offended if you're a Virgo and you think, oh, she just called me a bean counter. Well, everybody has Virgo in their chart. It's just the way astrology works, and if you would like to learn about how astrology works, I do actually have an amazing Hay House course, which you can just Google really quickly. It's called Astrology Made Easy. Actually, and a book as well. But that's how it works. So what we're getting then is a combination of dreaming, the urge to dream, the urge to lose ourselves. You know, I could just chant all day right now, versus the practical realities of needing to get everything done, to, you know, be productive and be practical and be Virgoan and get everything done and count the beans and make sure everything's in order and the way it should be. So that's what we get at the time of the full moon in Virgo in a general sense. Now, as to what this one is all about, and again, Now, this is not an ad for this because this is sold out. Yay! 2 years in a row, this Moonology diary has sold out. Thank you to everyone who bought it, and thank you to everyone for the great feedback. So this is not an ad, but there it is, a beautiful cover illustration from Nix Rowan. Now, the full moon in Virgo is what I just said, but every full moon is slightly different. So what about this full moon? Well, for a start, it's a supermoon. Okay, it's actually the first supermoon of 2020, but as it says in here, because I've just had a read of what I wrote, it's the first supermoon of 2020, but even though everyone gets very excited about supermoons these days, they're actually not that rare, and we do actually get up to 6 a year, okay? So it's a supermoon. It's exciting because it means that if you can manage to see the moon tonight, it's going to be up to 14% bigger, and I think 30% brighter, yes. And that's in the sign of Virgo, as I've said. Now, what I've written in here is really interesting. Obviously, I wrote this, more than a year ago, but it's quite interesting because it really made me think about the whole COVID-19, let's call it. So it says, it's the right time to look at your life and see what's good and what's not good. Now, okay, so that's what Virgo does. Virgo kind of like says, that's good, that's not good, that's good, that's not good. That's not good. That's good. Have you ever heard of the expression of sorting the wheat from the chaff? I think I've said that properly. It basically means working out what's good and what's not good. Well, Virgo is all about that. Okay? Now, I know this whole COVID-19 thing is a very big deal, and I know people actually are getting quite sick, and a small percentage of people are actually passing away as a result of it. But let me say, whenever something like this happens, and I'm going to ask Jonathan Kaner to come in here, please, because I know he still guides me, and this is the kind of thing he would have had no trouble explaining whatsoever. So, I think what we need to know about the virus that's going around is that it's directing our attention to something which is very Virgoan and which is very apt for right now with the full moon in Virgo. Because, let me just tell you a little very short story. About a month ago, I'm on a list on Facebook which is for journalists, because I'm an ex-journalist. Before I sort of dedicated my life to the moon, I was a journalist. And I'm on a list for journalists and ex-journalists. And someone who kind of does journalism and I think a bit of naturopathy or alternative healing got up and put something on this list of all these hard-bitten journos, and said something about, if you want to avoid the coronavirus, this is like a month ago, okay, so it's a while ago now, you need to boost your immune system, and it would be really good if anybody wants to write an article about this. People do pictures, and everybody just jumped on this poor woman and said, as if you've got a cure for the coronavirus, this is outrageous. What kind of person are you putting this kind of stuff out there? And it's like, I was the lone voice supporting her, going, she didn't say she had a cure for the coronavirus. She said, if you want to avoid the coronavirus, pretty much your only option, apart from staying home and speaking to no one, is, that's the only way to really guarantee it. I'm not saying everyone's going to get it, but if you really want to avoid it, you cannot have any contact with anyone. The only thing you can do apart from that is to boost your immune system. So, there are lots of things which boost your immune system. Vitamin C, obviously, echinacea, probiotics. I'm not in the least bit qualified to talk about this. You could research what boosts my immune system, okay? And anyway, so I said that. Everybody else was jumping down the throat. It was so vicious to the point that the admins turned the comments off and said, that's it, no one else say anything. But what's happened in the last month is everyone's realised that woman was right. The only thing we can do, short of, going to live in a cave by ourselves or shutting the door and not letting anyone in the house, is boosting our immune system. Now, what has the coronavirus done? It's made people aware of this. It's made people aware of, everywhere you look, you're seeing things like wash your hands. Okay, well, washing your hands is good for you anyway, to an extent. But things like get enough sleep, eat lots of vegetables, take some multivitamins, You know, it's like it's waking everybody up to the fact that we need to look after ourselves. And as I was thinking about the full moon in Virgo, I was thinking absolutely right on. The full moon Virgo is actually the sign of alternative health, okay? So here we all are, suddenly, there's no vaccine yet, maybe there will be, I'm sure some people are working extremely hard to, you know, develop a vaccine or a cure, if that's possible. But at the moment, there's nothing you can take, there's no pill you can buy over the counter to prevent you getting the coronavirus. All you can do is actually take an alternative health, a very Virgo approach to what's going on. So let's hope, because full moons are often very much about turning a corner. So let's hope that this horrible thing that's going around the world right now is actually going to have a positive impact in the long run to those of us, you know, to the people who are lucky enough to not get it or to survive it, which is about, you know, something like 98%. Should be fine eventually. Let's hope it's going to teach us to turn the corner in the way we are looking after ourselves, you know, and we start to think about, well, maybe I shouldn't be just, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a big wine drinker. Not to judge anyone who likes wine. I don't mind a bit of Prosecco and I love a glass of champagne, but I'm not a huge wine drinker, okay? To me, it's a bit like a glass of poison. So, you know, but we know it's not good for our immune system. What's good for our immune system? Things like garlic and ginger and I don't even know what, but, you know, we're all thinking about it. We're all eating more vegetables. We're just being healthier as a result of trying to boost our immune systems, you know. And we've been told wearing a mask doesn't work. It actually just creates a sort of a damp colony of bacteria in front of your face. So, you know, masks are no good. So there we are. I just thought that was very interesting, and I'm praying that this full moon in Virgo is going to help us to turn the corner on our health and also on COVID-19. And just by the way, the full moon is actually making a harmonious aspect to the planet of good luck, Jupiter. Okay, so, you know, maybe we're going to find a way around this. Maybe someone's going to come up with something to cure it. Or maybe we're all just going to get healthier, please Goddess, and we're going to start to look after ourselves better, and there will be a good outcome from this very, very difficult situation that everyone's facing. All right, so that is the full moon in Virgo. Now, I'm going to do a card reading in a second. And before I do that, I just want to mention about Mercury Retrograde. Unfortunately, I don't have my Mercury Retrograde book here, but, I've probably got one here maybe. Maybe not. Not handy. I do have a Mercury Retrograde book out. If anybody wants to read it, you can just Google the Mercury Retrograde book. But just to say, Mercury Retrograde is finishing this week, okay? So on the one hand, we can possibly expect a bit more chaos and mayhem because the start and end of the cycles is always more intense. On the other hand, it's really good if you've been waiting for Mercury Retrograde to end, it's about to. So that's a good thing, and it's been quite an intense cycle. I don't know about you, I felt it quite intensely, and now it's going to be over, and I'm quite looking forward to it being over. Not least of because I'm writing an online course for Hay House right now, all about Moonology. So stay tuned for that later in the year. And I've written it under Mercury Retrograde, and I'm telling you, writing things under Mercury Retrograde can be fun. It can also be good because it means you're going to get a chance to redo it on a future occasion. It can also be that you have to do a lot of editing, so I'm waiting to see what they come back with from the editors. And just a reminder, speaking of online Moonology courses, if you're in London, March 28th, come to my workshop. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be really fun. And the people I attract to my workshops are always amazing. I don't know how I got to be so lucky, but I am. And you can get there. Just go to one of my sites, yasminboland.com or moonology.com, and you can buy a ticket. So we're going to be talking about manifesting with the moon. And one of the things that we do in Moonology, which I'm going to talk more about at the workshop and on the online course, is about why we do forgiveness. I've got 10 minutes left, okay? So we're going to do 5 minutes of forgiveness, and then we're going to do the oracle cards, which I have here. So why is forgiveness so important? Why? Well, if you've been listening to me for a little while now, you will know. Forgiveness releases karma, okay? And forgiveness clears us out energetically. So every month, I implore you and urge you to do some forgiveness. And I always say that manifesting with the moon is very much a 2-step program. We all love the whole making wishes at new moon. Who doesn't love that thing of sitting down once a month and visualizing our dreams and all that? We all love that. But, however, it's really important to understand that all the good new moon wishing in the world is actually not going to be very effective unless you're also doing your full moon forgiveness. And we do full moon forgiveness because it's at the time of the full moon that all our emotions come to the surface. All the better to deal with them. So I'm going to read you from Moonology the full moon forgiveness formula. Can I just say I've got these glasses which cut out UV light. I got the idea from Gabby Bernstein. I saw that she had them on one of her Instagram stories. I have slept, I don't want to jinx it, I've slept so much better. I'm actually falling asleep on the couch at 10 p.m. now, whereas before I was still awake at 1 a.m. because of the blue light in the phone, because I'm always looking at my phone at night, playing, looking at Facebook and stuff. If you can't sleep, these, oh my goodness, they work miracles. I don't want to jinx it because, I don't want it to stop. Anyway, let's have a look at the full moon forgiveness. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of someone or something you need to forgive. All right? Something you need to forgive. Who do you need to forgive? Yourself, someone else, and here we go. So I'm just going to ask you to go back into a meditative state while we do this because I'm back into my full moon chirpiness. So let's go back into our Zen state with a couple of, we'll do one deep cleansing breath. Are you ready? Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. All right, so we're going to forgive ourselves and anyone else we need to forgive. Close your eyes and just listen. Under the glorious full moon, I forgive everything, everyone, every experience, every memory of the past or present that needs forgiveness. I forgive positively everyone. I also forgive myself of past mistakes. The universe is love, and I am forgiven and governed by love alone. Love is now adjusting my life. Realizing this, I abide in peace. I bring love and healing to all my thoughts, beliefs, and relationships. I learn my lessons and I move on. I call on my soul fragments to be cleansed by the full moon, and I call on them to rejoin me. I send love to myself and everyone I know and everyone who knows me in all directions of time. Under this glorious full moon, I am healed. My life is healed, and so it is. Put your hand between your breasts, so you're in the middle of your chest, and throw it out as far away as you can. So be it. So the thing is that by forgiving at full moon, we actually make space for successful manifestation. So So I now have 5 minutes left. I'm on a tight deadline today for reasons I won't go into, but hi Tom, I haven't forgotten you. So I'm going to do a 3-card full moon reading, and then I'm going to end with a chant, and then we're going to end this session. Remember to go out and look at the full moon tonight, okay? Make the most of the full moon. It's actually a beautiful thing to bathe in the light of the full moon. As my beautiful friend George Lizos pointed out to me many moons ago, the full moon is, in fact, moonlight is a wonderful balanced energy between the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, because we have the sun, the yang light of the sun, the masculine sun reflecting off the feminine moon. So, 3 cards. Are you ready? All right, so we have 3 cards for the full moon. Let me just show you. These are my beautiful Moonology cards from Hay House. Selling like hotcakes around the world. Thank you to everybody who's buying them. I am so glad you like them. I absolutely love them too. Okay. So the full moon spread. All right, so I always have to look. I wrote it, but I still like to just make sure I'm doing it because, you know, I do different readings all the time. So it's what is falling away? What does the full moon want to tell me? And what comes next? Are you ready? What is falling away? Oh, interesting. Right, now this is very curious. Hold your vision. This is what's falling away. So I think this is a message to say, don't be stubborn. Okay? Don't be stubborn. Maybe a fixed idea you had is going to fall away. What's the full moon trying to tell us? Well, that's a bit of a classic for the full moon. What do we need to release? So it's trying to tell us, don't cling on. There's something we need to release. Oh, excellent. And the outcome is believe in the impossible. Believe in the impossible. That card comes up all the time. So in other words, don't be too stuck on your ideas for whatever it is you want. Release whatever you need to release. Very often what we need to release is fear, okay? But also release control. Believe that good things can happen now. That's really important. And the outcome is believe in the impossible, because sometimes the impossible becomes impossible. Sometimes the impossible becomes possible, and it really can. Remember, it's a full moon, Mercury's changing directions, it's a big, big week, lots of exciting things can happen. So I'm going to end it there with a little chant, which I'm going to do to the goddess Narayani. Narayani is the goddess at the ashram where I go in India. And it's the Sri Narayani Peedam. People are saying thank you on Instagram. Thank you, guys. And people are saying they love the cards. Thank you. I love the cards too. Aren't they beautiful? I mean, just look at that. I mentioned it again. Nix Rowan did the art. NYX means goddess of the night. So here we go with a chant to take us out. Sorry I had to do it inside because of the rain, but there's no reason. I'll go out there later and have a look. Even if I get rained on, I just couldn't take the cameras out there. So here we go. This means I surrender to the divine, which is the absolutely brilliant thing to do at the time of the full moon. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo So what are you going to surrender this full moon? What are you giving up? What are you turning over to the divine? You know, it can be this card that I got. I'm just sneaking up here because I'm going to press stop in a minute. But so this card here about what's falling away can actually be about stop assuming that you know the best way. Okay, maybe the divine has a better idea. Stay open to that possibility and believe in the impossible, because the impossible can happen. All right. Mwah. Lots and lots of love. I'm going to save these now. So farewell to the Instagram crew. Nice to see you here. Share to story. And now farewell. I just squiggle across the floor. Farewell to my beloved Facebook people. And I hope you had a good time. I'm now going to go and read all your comments. Lots and lots of love.